realize that 2745, you divide by 13, you get 211. So you can see here that the divisor is actually 13. Okay, so if you were to compare it with part B, okay, where the divisor is x plus 3. If this is x plus 3, this is 13, therefore x must be 10. Okay, so they actually ask you to see whether you can see any patterns. Actually, all you have to do is you notice that in this case, if you know that the quotient is 211, if x is 10, then you can represent 211 as 2 times x to the power of 2 plus x plus 1, okay, which gives you this thing. Okay, but like I said, this is not a general rule that you can memorize. This one is just looking at patterns. Okay, so it's not that important. I repeat again, it's not that important. Alright. So for part B, just for example, if you are interested in to think about this one, whether there's any trick. Okay, there is no trick lah. It's just observation. Okay, and it cannot be applied for all numbers. It just so happens that this one can be applied. Okay, just so happen. Okay, now the next one is just a few practice. Okay, it's just a few practice for us. Part A, I believe you can do by yourself. I will do it with you. Okay, you also do it, and then you check your answer with mine. Alright. If you don't know how to do it or you have forgotten, then please listen to my explanation. I will explain it relatively slowly, mainly for the video lah. Okay, so that if next time when you revise many weeks later, if you forget, you can watch this video again and hopefully you can remember. Okay, so I'm going to express this thing. I'm going to check whether all the powers are descending powers of x. Indeed they are, because I can see x to the power 3, x to the power 2, x and a constant. So I'm going to write it down, okay, in a long division manner. So this is 4x to the power of 3 plus 8 to x to the power of 2 plus 7x minus 5. The divisor, I'm going to write it on the left hand side, 2x plus 1. Okay, so I'm going to look at the first term over here and also this one. So I ask myself, how do I get 4x cubed? What do I have to multiply to 2x? I know I have to multiply by a 2 to get the coefficient to be a 4, and I also have to multiply by x squared. Good. So I have a 4x squared. I write it at the top of this 8x squared, just to align the position well. Once you do that, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to multiply individually 4x times 2x. That gives me 8. Wait. My apologies. This one is 2. What am I writing? 2x squared. Alright? So if I multiply this thing, I'm going to get 4x cubed over there. And I'm going to multiply 2x by 1. Okay, I multiply this by 1. I'm going to get positive 2x squared. Next step, put a minus, bracket the whole thing. The first one is always a 0. 4 minus 4 gives me 0. Next one, 8 minus 2. That gives me 6x squared. The rest, I will bring it down. 7x minus 5. You're going to continue this game again. Okay, so you're going to ask yourself, how do you get 6x squared? If you only have 2x, you know you're going to have to multiply by 3. The next one is you need to multiply by another x. So these games continue. 6x squared. 3x times 1 gives you positive 3x. Let's subtract again. So 7 minus 3. 7 minus 3 gives me 4x minus 5. Let's do it one more time. I have 4, I have 2. I need to multiply by 2. And that would conclude my game. Alright? So this one, I'm going to get 4x plus 1 multiplied by 2 gives me a plus 2. I minus it off. My final answer, minus 5 minus 2 gives me negative 7. So can you please check your answer once you have done it? See that you have the same thing as me. Alright, if I make any mistake, please do let me know. Now the question actually asks you to express each of the following in the form of divisor times quotient plus remainder. Okay, so we can actually quickly do that. Let me change color. Okay, I am just going to say that this dividend, we're going to call this dividend fx. Okay, so it's much easier. Okay, can you just call this fx so we don't have to write the whole thing down? Fx refers to the function, okay, the original function or the dividend. So fx is equals to the divisor, which is 2x plus 1 multiplied by the quotient, which is 2x squared plus 3x plus 2 plus, of course, the remainder, which is just negative 7. Alright, so we can express it in this way. Okay, I'll give you guys a couple of seconds to take a look at this. If not, you can look at part B. Part B is the one that I really want you guys to try, because part B is a typical kind of exam question that the powers are not descending. Okay, the powers, no, not part B, sorry. This one, yes, part B. Okay, part B, the powers are not descending. So what do you have to do for that one? Okay, I'll give you guys some time to try, and then I go through with you. Okay, about 1/3 of you will definitely get it wrong. Before you start dividing, you may want to check your first step with mine. Did you put in this thing? Okay, before you start dividing, did you put in this thing? If you did not put in this thing, most likely your working will be wrong. You can but you might make mistakes. Okay, you might make mistakes. Especially when it's too confusing and too long. When you're working, you may make mistakes. Your main thing is careless mistakes. Looks correct. If the final answer is correct, yeah, you should still get it correct.
You made the same careless mistake.
Okay, please do try this one, because I'll say this is a very, very typical O-level question. Okay, this is a very typical O-level question. Hey, when you divide, write a bit smaller. Because the space is really very limited. Okay, I see most of you are like almost done. So let me start with this working, and then you can check your answer with mine, alright? So the first thing first, I'm going to divide. So I look at the first term. This is 2. Okay, so I know that I have to make it 4x. So I have to multiply by 2x squared. Okay, so that's my very first step. If I multiply by 2x squared, I'm going to get 4x cubed. 2x squared multiplied by -1 gives me -2x squared. I put the minus over here. So, of course, the first term will disappear. So, 0 minus -2x, that gives me positive 2x. I bring the rest down. Alright, so the next step I'll have 2x squared. So, actually, all I need to do is just multiply by positive x. Right, I just need to multiply by positive x. Okay, so if I do that, I multiply by positive x, I'm going to get 2x squared. -1 multiplied by positive x gives me negative x. So same thing, I'm going to minus it. So -5 minus x, minus gives me plus, -5 plus x gives me -4x plus 5. Okay, and then one more step to go. I have a 2 here. I want to get -4, so I'm going to multiply by -2. Okay, so over here will be -2. If you multiply by -2, you're going to get -4x. -2 times -1 gives me, -2 times -1 gives me positive 2. Okay, so you're going to minus it off. The last one, -4 minus 4, of course, gives me 0. 5 minus 2. 5 minus 2 gives me 3. Okay, so can you check your answer? Okay, can you quickly check your answer? Which parts you are Not sure.
Wait, why got you? Why? Wait.
Did I make a mistake somewhere?
Wait. I got you.
Okay, so like I said, please check your working every single step of the way. Try not to rush through things. Yes, Gabriel? Y minus negative x. Oh, you mean this one? This thing, ah? Did I make a mistake here? Let me see, ah. Yeah, because positive multiplied by negative 1 gives me negative x. Yeah, so become negative 5 minus is plus. Become plus. So negative 5 plus, that will give me negative 4. Okay. I guess you guys got curious about this one, okay? So negative 5 minus is plus. So negative 5x plus x gives me negative 4. Negative 4x.
Oh wait, this
Okay?
one's wrong. This one's wrong.
So you guys need to practice, ladies and gentlemen. You really need to practice, alright? Okay, so let's rewrite this in our format. So like I said, this thing is our fx, our function fx. Okay, so this is our function fx. So my function fx is equals to the divisor, which is 2x minus 1, multiplied by the quotient, which is 2x squared plus x minus 2, plus the remainder, which is 3. Alright, so I'll rewrite it in this way.
4, not 6.
And there's a reason why I'm going to write it in this way, but we must finish the other two first. Okay, then you are able to see. Okay? Now, quickly, can you try the next one? This one, please draw smaller. The space is really very small. Okay? The space is really very small. Don't ask me why is it so small. Okay, it's not created by me. This worksheet is not created by me. But I guess it's created by someone who really cares about the environment. Yeah. Okay, I'm definitely not one of them. Okay? But this space is a bit small, so do draw a little bit smaller, alright? Okay? Again, the first thing first, make sure all your x's are in descending powers of x. Okay, make sure all the x's are in descending powers of x. If you don't know what I mean, okay, please look up and check your first part. Yeah, this one is long. I'm not gonna lie, this one is really long. Okay, but everything is about practice. This chapter, I can say chapter 4 is mainly about long division. Yeah, it's mainly about long division. Okay, so you can prepare your WA, it's going to have quite a few long divisions. Alright, so it's just tedious. This one, many of you will make mistakes one. Okay, many of you will make mistakes. So try to do very carefully. Okay, I promise you, we are coming to the end already. After this, another one, and then the next sub-chapter don't have to do long division anymore. Okay, so only 2 more questions to do long division, and then that's it. Factor theorem, remainder theorem don't have to. Okay, I'll do along with you, and then when you are done, you can look up and check your answer with mine. Your final answer, okay, that one is a conclusion I want you to get. Your final answer will always be 1 degree lesser than the divisor. So it will be a linear function. Okay, your remainder will be a linear function. Okay, the final answer is this. Check your working. I tell you, you sure a lot of mistakes one.
So it's negative
Huh?
5x.
Negative 5x.
So it's 3x minus ax. What the hell?
Where? Last part? Here? Ah, yeah. Here, negative, sorry. Yeah, this is negative. Okay, the rest is correct. Okay, because 3 minus 8. Okay, 3 minus 8 gives me negative 5x. That's why I say, you really have to practice. Alright? The confusing part and the area of error which I just made, right, sometimes you forget to neglect there's a negative. Okay, the way you should read it is like 3x minus 8x. Okay, sometimes we tend to forget about this thing. Alright? So can you check your working? Please make sure you know where you went wrong. Okay, exactly which part you actually went wrong. Okay, take some time. Okay, just one more question after this, and then we are done with long division. But most of you make mistakes because of careless mistakes. Okay, most of you make mistakes because of careless mistakes. So don't rush through this process. Okay, don't rush through this process. Even if you get it wrong now, it's okay. Okay, we are all still learning. It's okay. It's alright. Okay, check your working, please. For those of you who, hey,
Are you for real?
are you for real?
That's fine.
Okay, for those of you who are done, please go and do the last and final question. Okay, the last and final question, I will repeat the steps again. Okay, I'll repeat the steps again, but please do go and do it. Okay, the last and final question, the last one.
Oh my god, are you kidding?
This is AMAT.
Are you
This is AMAT. This whole week we are only doing AMAT. Okay, this whole week only AMAT. No math.
So it's
Tomorrow another 3 periods of AMAT.
huh?
I already tell you already, this whole week all AMAT for you.
Let's go.
Okay?
Why not?
I have an ambition, I have a dream. Okay, we're going to finish everything by week 5, and then we're going to have 3 weeks of revision. Okay? Hey, trust me, 3 weeks of revision means by the time you'll be so bored, but at the same time, you'll know everything like the back of your finger. Okay, you'll know everything like the back of your finger.
He has a
Okay? Yeah, really. Okay? So that is my goal. Okay, that's my goal for us.
我要回家。你拿我 iPad
Huh? The last one? How's the last one long? Okay.
我是一眼都没看，我真的是。
Okay, can I give you guys 1 more minute to finish up D, and then I'll go through D together with you, alright? I'll go through D together with you.
你好意思。
Okay. 3 minutes.
Why do you even need a calculator?
Okay, you're gonna tell yourself this is the last one already, alright? Power through.
No, this remainder is too fat. 它也不是没可能啦，我觉得有可能，但就是它好给它去 squeeze that thing。 Well, just find the answer for this. I'm not going to like write the whole thing.
Oh,
干掉啊！你让那么认真讲。
Negative times positive is negative, not positive. Here's a mistake.
就不能完全快不。
Okay, please do try the last one. Come on, come on. Like I said, if you do make mistake, it's really because of careless mistake. Actually, one simple long division like this requires you to do many multiplications. Yeah, I mean of the negative signs and positive signs. Okay, you have to do many of them. So even if one is wrong, the whole question is wrong already.
You never collect the homework on January 16th of January.
I got a mark already. Your W over already.
Yeah. 丢掉。
Keep it. Okay, I'm gonna go through this thing. I know if you haven't done it yet, okay, I'll just explain it for the video. You can actually go home and watch it, alright? So if you haven't done it yet, or if you realize that after you do, you got some mistake, just go back and watch this video, alright? Okay, so I'm gonna try to make this 5. Okay, so I'm gonna try to make this 5. I have x squared, so I know that I definitely have to multiply by just 1x, right? That's all I have to multiply. Okay, and I have to multiply by 5. Okay, so I'm going to write it on top of it over here. So the first thing I'm going to do, I multiply by 5x. So I'm going to get 5x cubed. 5x multiplied by negative 2. Okay, so I'm going to get negative 10x squared. Okay, and finally 3 times 5x. 3 times 5x gives me 15x. Okay, so that's the first one. I just put a minus on the outside. And then I just do it individually. This one, be very careful. So I'll look 5 minus 5, that gives me 0. 9 minus 10, minus gives me 10. Okay, positive 10. So it's 9 plus 10. Okay, so you should get 19. Okay, already I know some of you make mistakes already. So it's very common for you to make mistakes. Okay, it's very common. So please make sure you're correct. In the exam, I can tell you very honestly, A math is a little bit cruel, or E math is also a bit cruel. The minute you have mistakes means the rest all 0. Okay, so it's really a very cruel world out there. Okay, so you got to make sure you are very careful. Make sure you check everything slowly. Alright, next one. 6 minus 15. 6 minus 15, you have a small number minus a big number. You're obviously going to get a negative number. So 6 minus 15 is negative 9x. I bring down the plus 2 over there. Hey, why do I hear what? I just bring down the plus 2. Okay? Next thing, just one more step to go. You have a x squared over here. So obviously, you need to plus 19. Right? You need to plus 19. So this gives me 19x squared. Next thing, 19 times negative 2x give me negative 38. Negative 38. X plus 3 times 19. 3 times 19. 3 times 19 is 57. Alright, so you're gonna get 57. Got a minus over here. So same thing, just do it slowly. 19 minus 19 gives me 0. Negative 9 minus means plus. So negative 9 plus 38. That gives me positive 29. I have 2 minus 57. That gives me negative 55. Okay, so that is it. How do we know when to stop? How do we know when we stop dividing? Whenever this degree is smaller than this, you stop. Okay? Whenever this degree is smaller than this degree, you stop. Alright? So let us actually write this down in terms of our fx. We know that the fx, which is our dividend, is equals to the divisor, which is x squared minus 2x plus 3. And this one will be the quotient. plus the remainder. The remainder is 29x minus 55. Okay, so I've written it down in this way. Now, what I want you to notice from all of these examples, there's a reason why we actually ask you guys to do long division for all of this, okay? There is one takeaway I need you guys to see, okay? And please, this one, please pay attention if you are doing corrections or whatever, because this is the important part, the concepts, okay? Whenever you divide by a linear function, you realize linear means the power is the power 1, the degree 1. You realize that the remainder will always be 1 less degree than this. So if this is degree 1, the remainder will be degree 0, which is just a constant. So you can see here, it's a constant. If you divide by a degree 1, your remainder will always be a degree 0, so it will always be a constant. If you divide by a degree 2, your remainder will be a degree 1. Can you see that? If you divide by a degree 2, your remainder will be a degree 1. Can you see that? Okay, so this is a general rule that you have to roughly know. Okay, whenever you divide, so if the question which may happen, may occur, it's just a 1-mark question, it's something they ask you, okay, if they give you, they tell you that fx, okay, they tell you that fx is of degree 10. For example, they tell you fx is of degree 10, means it could be like x to the power of 10 plus x to the power of 9 plus 2, plus 2, maybe it's something like that. And I say that it is being divided, okay, this thing is being divided by the divisor of degree 6, okay, so I'll say this is going to be x to the power of 6 plus x to the power of 3, for example, the highest power is 6, okay, and I ask you, what degree will the remainder be? Okay, remember the remainder will always be 1 degree less than the divisor. So your Rx will be of degree 5. Okay, so this could be just a 1-mark question, just test you on concept only. Okay, so just remember your remainder will always be 1 degree less. Okay, 1 degree less than the divisor. Okay. If you are okay with this one, can you please take out the worksheet that I passed you last week? Please don't tell me you've forgotten the worksheet. I gave you that worksheet last week. Can you please reach into your bag and pull it out? What worksheet? On polynomials one. Yes, I gave to every single one. All of you were around. Please search your bag right now.
Is it the...
Come, Jolie, reach into your bag.
Where is the polynomials?
Yes, that's the one.
And the partial fraction.
Yes, absolutely.
And it's on the...
Polynomials and partial fractions.
And remainder. And...
Okay, trust us, okay? Let's do the difficult things first. Let's get AMF out of the way, and then you're going to realize that actually once all the AMF stuff is really done, this whole year, you can chill a little bit. Okay? Actually, AMF topics are not very difficult, they're just very tedious. And you may find it difficult because it's the first time that you're doing it. But actually, if you look back, if you do things many times, you're going to realize it's actually not that difficult. Okay? Anyone don't have that worksheet, can you please go and search into your bag first? Take out that worksheet. Who don't have? Don't keep quiet, if you don't have, then I'll airdrop you. Everyone has? Have? Keep the iPad, please. Okay? So, this warm-up exercise, okay, this is just a warm-up exercise, but actually, we did this question before, right? This one is in your previous, I think this one is in your previous worksheet. Let me take a look, okay? This one is it that one? Is this the question? Yeah, okay. So this one is question part B of the previous worksheet we have already done. So I'm going to express it in terms of the divisor quotient remainder, alright? So I just write it down. Okay, don't have to redo this, because we don't really have much time. Okay, but the final answer for this one is going to be the divisor. So it's 2x minus 1 multiplied by the quotient, which is 2x squared plus x minus 2 plus 3. Okay, the remainder. Can you just write this down? Yes. It's a different one, isn't it? Okay. But anyway, okay, it's not important, I don't need you guys to redo again. Okay, then can you just change this to minus? Can you just change this to minus? Because I just want you to see the outcome of it. Okay, I just want you to see the outcome. I don't need you to do long division again. Okay, that's not my intention. Okay? The next part that we're going to do is remainder theorem and factor theorem. Okay? So this one is you need to be able to understand. Okay, I need you to be able to understand. Now, how did I get this thing? Okay, how did I get to this form? What is fx again? Fx is your dividend. It is your original function that hasn't been divided by anything. The divisor is this 2x minus 1. So we know that the original dividend is equals to the divisor multiplied by the quotient plus the remainder. Okay, so it is exactly in this form. Now, the key idea that they want you guys to see here, okay, the key idea that they want you guys to see here is that, is there a way that we can actually find out what is the value of the remainder? Okay, is there a way that we can find the value of the remainder without doing long division? Is there a way? Now, take a look at this. Which one is the remainder? 3, right? Is there a way that we can get rid of this whole thing, then only 3 remains? Is there a way? X equals 0? Is it? Is it? Okay, think about it. Would it be interesting if I can make this 0? Can you imagine if this thing is 0? Anything multiplied by 0 will still be 0, right? So if I can make this thing 0, when I have 0 multiplied by something, this whole thing will disappear. The only thing that remains is just the remainder. Can you see that? So how do I make this 0? How do I make this 0? If I want to make 2x minus 1 equals 0, what must the value of x be? 2x equals to 1, x is equals to half. Can you guys see that? If you were to substitute half inside here, 2 times half gives me 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. What we see is that immediately this whole thing will disappear. What remains is just the value of the remainder. Can you see that? So what it means is that if you substitute in the value of half inside the function, what remains will just be 3, which this is the remainder. This is the remainder theorem. Okay? It's actually very simple. Alright, so this is the explanation to why it works. Okay, this is the explanation to why it works. But later on, I'll teach you a way, just memorize. Okay, so even if you don't understand, you can actually memorize it. Alright, let's look at the word example number 1. Let fx be any polynomial. Write the following dividends in terms of qx and rx. Okay, qx stands for quotient. I don't know how to spell quotient. Is it correct? No, spelled wrongly.
It doesn't even look correct.
It doesn't even look correct. Okay, Quotient. Okay, so Qx is the quotient, R is the remainder. Alright? So how do we write it? Okay, so I know Fx is the original function that I haven't divided by anything, which is also called the dividend, is equals to by the divisor, which is x plus 1, multiplied by the quotient, plus the remainder. Now, okay, I want you guys to think about it. Just now I just told you, if the divisor is of degree 1, the remainder will be degree what? 0. What does degree 0 mean? Yeah, it's a constant. There is no x. So actually this is not independent of x. Okay? No, sorry, this is independent of x. That means that actually this is just a constant r. Got it? Okay? So if I know that the divisor is of degree 1, then this remainder is going to be independent of x. That means it's just going to be a constant. Okay, so we're going to write it in this way. Okay? Now, can you think about it? How do we find the remainder? What do we need to substitute inside here such that only the remainder remains? can you see that when you substitute into the function x is negative 1, the thing that remains is only the remainder? Do you see that? Right, do you see that? Can you please write this down? Okay, you must understand this part. Huh? Okay, how about the next one? Same thing, I'm going to write it down. Fx is the dividend, the divisor multiplied by Qx plus R. Okay? The remainder is of degree 0, so it's just a constant. How do I find the remainder? I just need to substitute in 3. Okay? When my function, I substitute 3 inside my function, what remains is just the remainder. Hey, I can tell you this subchapter is probably the easiest in this whole chapter 4. Okay, so if you don't get this thing, yeah, you are in deep trouble. Okay, so you must try to understand this part. Okay? So same thing over here. Fx is equals to the divisor multiplied by Qx plus R. How do you get only the remainder? You substitute in negative half. Right? You substitute in negative half, you get the remainder. So no longer do we have to do long division. Right? You can just substitute in. You just look at the divisor. You ask yourself, how do you make the divisor equal 0? What must the value of x be? You substitute that in, you will get the remainder. Why does it work? Because of here. Okay? Why does it work? It's because of this. Let's do the last one. Fx divided by 4x minus 3. So Fx is equals to 4x minus 3 multiplied by Qx plus the remainder. The remainder is just a constant. Alright, so how do we find only the remainder? I will let 4x minus 3 is 0. 4x is equals to 3. Therefore, x is equals to 3 over 4. So I'm going to substitute 3 over 4 inside this function. I will get the remainder. Can? Okay? This is a really, really useful result that we observe. Okay? This is a really, really useful. Okay? So look at the think time. For each of the dividend above, can we find the remainder without performing long division? The answer is yes. Okay, how? Can you please substitute in the value of x? Okay, just write it down in case you forget. Okay, so you please don't tell me everything's gone. Okay, never mind. Just write yes. Okay, sub the value of x that makes the divisor 0. 0. Okay? Substitute in the value of x. Oh, let me be more. Substitute where? Into fx. Okay, that makes the divisor 0. Okay, sub the value of x into fx that makes the divisor 0. Okay, so I hope you remember this thing. We're going to do some examples. Okay, we're going to do some examples later on, and I'll show you it's really, really very quick and really very, very fast. Okay, for us to immediately get the remainder out. Can? Okay, tahan a little bit, just a little bit more only. Okay. Can. Whether you can or cannot is really up to you. Your mind is very important. Okay. Okay, let's look at the next work example. Okay, let's look at the next work example. Okay, I ask you guys tomorrow 3 periods, right?
Let's go.
Okay, tomorrow 3 periods, right? Okay, it's really very long. I know it's very long. Okay, but the thing is, there's a good thing and a bad thing. The good thing is that if we power through that 3 periods, most likely we will be able to finish the whole chapter 4 by this week. Okay, that's a good thing. But if you want to drag it out, also can. But if you drag it out, means that we'll just go slow. Okay, we just go slow. There are both merits also. Okay, we'll go slow means we'll do more examples. Means I won't even go partial fractions really. That means I'll stop at remainder theorem, then the next one is factor theorem. And then we'll just do more questions only. No, you have to do, that is either you choose, okay? But, okay, so I let you guys decide. As a class, which one do you prefer? Number one, we rush through, but don't worry lah, I won't really rush until very fast lah. Okay, I'll be going at this speed. Okay, it's not that I will like go as a bullet train. Okay, I will not force to finish, but means that I will not purposely lengthen and delay. Okay, if you want me to lengthen and delay, I can, you know. Do you know that the speed that I teach, right, for your class compared to now, after this I got my 2 NA class, right? Do you know how I teach my 2 NA class? Very, very, very slow one. Okay? Very slow. Every single word, every single working, I verbatim it out. And I speak like, okay, this is X. Can you see? X minus 2. X minus 2 is the divisor. Yeah, that's how I go in NA. Okay? So if you want me to go at that speed, also can. Okay? I can really drag it out. Okay? So you guys vote. You guys vote. How many of you prefer to just finish as much as possible? Okay, how many of you prefer to do more questions and slow things down a little bit more? It's okay, raise your hands. Huh? Okay, everyone, close your eyes, close your eyes. Yeah, come on, close your eyes. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. What's it? Close your eyes, close your eyes. All close your eyes first. Okay? If you prefer to go slow, please raise your hands. Okay, please put down your hands. Okay, only one person only. Okay, open your eyes. Okay, so we will just continue. Okay, we'll just continue as much as we can now. Okay, I think that's the best option also. Alright, I think that's the best option. Alright. Okay, come. Let's look at this one. Find the remainder. Okay, find the remainder of the function when it is divided by x minus 2. So what does the remainder theorem tell us? The remainder theorem tells us that this is the divisor. Okay, the divisor is of degree 1. So you know that the value of your remainder will be degree 0. It is just a number, it is a constant. So how do I find what is the answer? What is the remainder? Okay, I just need to make this dividend equals to 0. Okay, so you want to try to make this dividend equals to 0. You know that x is equals to 2. Substitute in this value of x inside the function. So I'm going to substitute this inside the function. I will get the remainder. Alright? So what is my function? My function is my original. Right? So if I substitute in 2 inside here, whenever I see x, I replace it with 2. Okay, so let's do that. 4, 2 to the power of 3 minus 5, 2 plus 1 equals to r. So the remainder, just use your calculator. I also don't know. 4 times 2 to the power of 3 minus 5 times 2 plus 1. Easy? Yeah, it's quite simple lah, okay? As long as you can remember this. Okay? As long as you can remember this. Next one. Remember, try to make this 0. 2x minus 1 is 0. 2x is equals to 1, x is equals to half. Substitute in this value of half inside the function, I will get the remainder. So therefore, the remainder is 4 half to the power of 3 minus 5 times half plus 1. Just enter this in your calculator. So what do you get? Minus 5 times half plus 1. Negative 1. Can? Okay? Remainder theorem is really not too difficult. Okay? You just got to remember why it works, how it works. Okay? If you cannot remember how it works, just remember how to do it. Just make it equal 0, substitute it inside. Alright, can you do the try it 3 by yourself? And then when you're done, you just check your answer with mine. Let's do it relatively quickly, alright?
哇，天哪！还有多东西，还有20分钟。然后说一下，然后 chemistry。
There's a count of research something. It is behind the
No, there's a government.
no, like behind this
There's a
the
government.
count of research something.
修电。
C what? C for it, right? Or C CH4. Hello? That's not cheaper, man. That's just more C.
We were telling that there is actually. Let me think about it. It's not like any subject.
Did I enter wrongly? Okay, wait, let me enter again.
Isn't it 7, 3?
Wait, let me enter again.
Wait, how did you get 339?
Ah, yes, sorry, 70.
这 is 3 times.
73? Wait, I must be
Your equation is wrong.
My equation is wrong?
It's plus 3 times 3.
3 to the power of 3 minus 2, 3 square plus 3, okay. Ah, yes, 3.
不要用
Okay, plus 3, so 73. Thank you very much.
Ah,
Yeah, correct.
so it's like 81 minus
3 times 3
81 minus
minus 2, 3 square plus 3 times 3. Yes, answer 73. Okay, so if you make mistakes in the calculation, please correct them. Okay, the next one, let me enter it. Okay, next one is negative 7. Okay, next one is negative 7. Can? Can? Sherry, can you close that iPad? Okay? Come. Work example number 4. Is everyone okay with this one? This is just a little warm up. Huh? Will this be tested in the exam? No. Alright, this will not be tested in the exam. It's too simple. Okay, it's too simple. Now, what is a more typical kind of exam question will be our work example number 4. Okay, this one is a more typical kind of exam question. So let us learn how to tackle these questions together. Okay? Now, I am given that the expression 4x squared minus px plus q. Now this is our fx. Okay, so can you just write this is your fx, this is your original function. It leaves a remainder of negative 2 when you divide it by x minus 3. So this is the divisor. Okay? And then we also say that it leaves a remainder of 26 when divided by x plus 1. So immediately you know that if you divide it by x minus 3, it leaves a remainder of 2. That means that if you substitute in 3 into the original function, you will get a remainder of negative 2. Okay, so this is your first one. The second one, if you substitute in x is negative 1 into the function, you will get a remainder of 26. So here you have two equations. Let us do the substitution. Okay, so for the first one, 4 times 3 square minus p times 3 plus q is negative 2. The one on the right, 4 negative 1 square minus p times negative 1 plus q is equals to 26. Do you see where we are going? Simultaneous equations, right? So here we are going to get 4 times 3 square, so it's 36 minus 3p plus q is negative 2. Here I'm going to get 4 plus P plus Q is 26. Okay, so I'm going to keep the 3P plus Q over here. I'm going to bring the 36 over, minus 38. Here, same thing, P plus Q is equals to 26 minus 4. That gives me 22. So I have equation 1, I have equation 2. How do I solve this simultaneously? How do I solve this simultaneously? Hey, listen, nothing in math is simple. It's tedious. You can do by elimination, you can do by substitution. Okay, up to you. Okay, but do you know you can also use your calculator to get the answer? You guys don't know? Okay, I'll show you guys. Okay, so in your calculator, if you go under menu, okay, you go under 5. I can't even see my finger. Okay, you go menu, you go under 5. There's this thing called simultaneous equation. Do you see that? And then you can press 1. Okay, how many unknowns do you have? 2. Right, you have 2 unknowns. I can't see. Okay, so you have 2 unknowns. So here, you just need to put something plus something equals something. The first equation is what? I can't remember. Minus 3 plus 1 equals to negative 38. Okay? So I think your first equation is negative 3p plus q equals to negative 38. So I'm going to key that in. Okay, the second equation is? So it's p plus q, so it's 1 plus 1. Right? 1 plus 1 is equals to 32, is it? 22. Okay. So I'm going to key this in inside here. I just need to press enter. The first one is the p. P is 15. And my q is 7. Voila! Easy, right? Then can you like that or not? You think you can like that or not?
Where is the
huh? You guys think you can like that or not? Of course not lah. Come on. Okay? But why do I teach you this? So that you can check your answer. Yes. Alright, yes, Bonnie? How to do your calculator? I'm not the manufacturer of this calculator lah. But okay, but the thing is YouTube has everything. So you just need to enter in a model of your calculator. Then you enter how to do simultaneous equation using that model. Okay? And then you will find the video. If you really cannot find, then maybe you pass me lah. I try to explore for you. Alright? Okay? But how do you do this? Okay, just a quick recap. This chapter is all about simultaneous equation together with this thing. So you need to know how to do. You can do by elimination. That is the quickest method. Can you see that you have a Q here? I will bring this thing down. Okay, I'll bring... Whoa, what's wrong? Okay, I will bring this thing down. Hey, I just realized something. Your hair, macam like you're some K-pop star already. Hey, please, go and get it cut. Okay, so here, what I can do is I can actually take another K-pop star in the making. Okay? Equation 1 minus equation 2. Can you see that if I take equation 1 minus equation 2, the Q will disappear? Okay? So I just need to focus on the P's. Negative 3 minus P gives me negative 4P. Is equals to negative 38 minus 22. Negative 28 minus 22, it gives me negative 60. So therefore, P is equals to 15. Hey, not that difficult, right? Okay, so if P is equals to 15, let's substitute inside equation 2. Okay, so from equation 2, P plus Q is 22. So if P is 15, 15 plus Q is 22. Q is 22 minus 15, which gives me 7. Alright, so immediately you get your answer. Always check your answer, especially once you are done. Okay, why do I want you to check? Because sometimes you do make mistakes. Alright, I also make mistakes, especially when I'm really, really tired. Alright, and I can tell you, I'm really very, very tired. Of course, my son's hospitalized. I take night shift leh. My shift starts from 5 PM all the way to 6 AM Okay? And the thing is, I do sleep lah, But the thing is, when you sleep in the hospital, you know you have a chair. When you sit that, when you sleep like that, you can sleep no? No. Cannot really sleep lah. Okay? Sleep with him, he's on the cot leh. His bed is this small, you know. His bed is this small, you know. How to sleep? You want to see his cot or not?
Your eyes are red.
I show you his cot. Okay, I show you his cot. I show you this. You see how small his bed is? So this is yesterday's photo. Okay, this is yesterday's photo. Then yeah, then this is when he was yeah. Then this is when his eye was swollen. It's very swollen and like that. And he's so small, but then he has to be on IV drip, so his hand like down there. Yeah. Yeah, but I don't know lah. I hope he can be discharged by tomorrow lah. Okay. Yeah, but because he has fever again, so I don't know. So my wife is taking the day shift, then I take the night shift. Alright? Okay, so this is how you actually do simultaneous equation. I can tell you very honestly, this whole chapter is all about that. Okay, can you quickly go and try this try 5? It's the exact same thing. Can I give you guys 3 minutes? Very quickly, can you please quickly do it? Done already. No lah, how do you know? You check this problem and check answer lah. That face, actually most of the time you don't.
哦，我不要做了，不要做了，太多题了，我太累了。不要做了。
What?
Teacher, I want to go home.
How do you even find it?
So do I.
Oh yeah, I give up the idea.
我不要在这儿待着了。A 是1 ，B 是多少 ？B 是2。
啊？
对呀，我是3 The first one is correct, the second one is not wrong.
You sure?
Yes. Maybe you think the
You
difference
are
is
wrong.
Yeah, you are wrong.
Yeah. Negative 2.
How did you mess up?
I missed
What arsenal? Arsenal. Green.
Yeah. But now it's correct.
Now it's correct. Hey yo, what's your problem?
My pen died.
Well, this remainder is 0.
That's vector theorem. See, this fx is vector of this.
Okay, if you are done, can you check your simultaneous equation? Do you get this?
So you substitute it.
Okay, so you can do by elimination or you can do by substitution. You should get the same answer, alright?
Here or what?
But your final answer, I'm just going to use a calculator then.
Maybe 0, let me
But don't use a calculator. Okay, only I can use a calculator. Okay, you are, because I'm not taking exams, you are taking exams. Okay?
1.3.
What's your answer?
1 and 2.
Okay, you should get your A is 1,
Yeah.
your B is 2.
There, bro.
Okay? You can either do by elimination, but if you want to do by elimination, you gotta make sure that the coefficient here is 2. How do you do that? Multiply by 2 throughout. Okay, I'm going to give you guys about 1 more minute to try to figure things out. Okay? If you want to do by elimination, it's also very simple.
Buy a new laptop. I'm going to buy a English.
Hey, how many of you need a recap on simultaneous equations? How many of you need a recap on simultaneous equations?
9.
Don't need,
Wait, what's the exchange rate between the USD and SD?
1.342. Huh? I'm accurate to plus minus 1%. Okay, is everyone done? Can I move on? Okay, 1 more minute. Just last part only. Last one, factor theorem, and then we are done already. Huh? Oh, you don't understand how to get A is 1, B is 2, is it? Okay. Okay, I only have a few more minutes. Let's do this simultaneous equations, alright? Okay, so here I have equation 1 and equation 2. I want to do by elimination, but I realize that here is negative B, here is positive 2B. Okay, so what I can do is I can multiply by 2 throughout. I multiply equation 1 by 2. So I take equation 1, I multiply by 2. Okay, so I'm going to get 2A minus 2B is equals to negative 2. This is my equation 3. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to take this equation 3. Okay, I'm going to shift this around. I'm going to put it right over here. Now, I'm going to add equation 2 plus equation 3. Why do I want to add them up? Because when I add them up, this thing will become 0. So I'm going to take 4 plus 2. 4 plus 2 gives me 6A. 6A is 8 plus negative 2. That gives me 6. So therefore, A is equals to 1. Okay? If A is equals to 1, you can substitute back inside equation 1. So if A is 1, 1 minus B is equals to negative 1. Negative B is negative 1 minus 1. So negative B is equals to minus 2. B is equals to 2. Can? Yeah, what? Huh? Which part? Huh? Which part? Okay? I tell you what, I don't have time to move on to factor theorem because I only have 2 more minutes. Okay? I pause here for a moment. Anyone got any questions regarding simultaneous equation? Ask. If you have any questions, please ask. Okay, if not, that's all. Okay, for today. Tomorrow we'll continue.
So what is partial fraction?
Here what? What's wrong? Partial fractions?
What are partial fractions? What's the whole part? The whole part of
Equation 1 minus equation 2. Okay, what's equation 2? Oh, you want to get yours? This minus so become negative 2. So become 4A minus 8 minus 6 Yes, okay, class then. Thank you, class.
哇，终于是没下死了。